Hello everyone, it's Mozosoro there. I recently did this effect where the sword kind of burns, leaving particles behind, and today I would like to share a different way of doing that like in Genshin Impact. So it is not identical, it's just to show the basic things you need in order to be able to recreate such an effect, and this is what it looks like. So I already had this character from the Unity starter asset which can already move around. So I checked into the armature and went to the rig and found the spine, and then I imported and parented a sword to the spine so that it moves with the character. Then I created a new shader graph using the position node to obtain information about the object, and a split node which gives us control over the different axes of the object. In my case, I used the B axis, but it might be different for you. I created a float property called line, which is a slider to give the difference between the visible part and the invisible part. Then I created the material out of this shader graph, and I created the color property to access the color in the inspector. Then I selected a reddish color for the sword, and it doesn't move on the correct axis, so I changed the axis to G. And now it disappears and appears on the correct axis, but I wanted it to be inversed from top to bottom, so I added a 1 minus node, and now it works. So this is how it looks like for now. Then I went back to the sword model and duplicated it and positioned it correctly at the hand. And now both swords are still visible, but we will take care of that using a script. So I created a script which makes sure that when I press a certain key, the imaginary sword appears and the real sword disappears, and vice versa, leaving particles behind. The particle system in question shall be created in a while. Then I created an empty game object called manager, and I attached the script to it, and then I added the references of the two swords. Now let's create the particle system. I created a new particle system, changed the duration to 1, lifetime to 1, speed, random number, and also the start size, a random number between two constants. Then I changed the shape to box, modified the scale, and added a little bit of angular velocity to it. Then I went back to the manager and added the particle system reference. Then I created a new animation for the imaginary sword. I added a property which is the reference of the float property we created in the shader graph. Then I animated it to fade in and fade out, and this is the final result. So feel free to check out my other projects, and don't forget to check the links in the description if you want to get them. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to know how to use this in games and other projects, so that when I publish the video about it, you should be notified. Thanks for watching.